He never got the MVP love that Peyton did. Statistically, he stacks up a lot closer to Manning than most people probably realize. Gentlemen, I'm not the hugest Peyton Manning guy, but he's on a different planet than Drew Brees. Okay. I think this is silly.
Wow, that's a lot, because I'm a huge Peyton Manning guy, and I agree with you, even though I don't want to take that shot at Drew Brees, who was drafted. My first year in San Diego, he was a rookie drafted to that team, and we didn't see this coming. The NFL didn't see this coming, in part why he was a second rounder. And so because he's a victim of his own branding, he's not a former #1 overall pick, you don't get that machinery behind you to hype up your numbers.
There's no MVPs, Marcel.
Bruh, you over here in my notes, because the reason why I'm sitting there like, this is not a conversation, I have 5 MVPs while you still were in the NFL. Like, I won my first one. You were playing. And I got 5 of those, and you have donut? That's enough to just end this argument right there. Respect to Drew Brees.
You the D,
No, I'm laughing because, come on, man. Drew is not the sexy pick. No, but Drew has done what it takes to be considered an all-time great quarterback, man. Look at his numbers. Look at some of the teams he's played for. In an era where a team and a coach that doesn't even really believe in running the ball. He's done this basically one-dimensional by just passing the ball. I've had to go against Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. And I love Peyton Manning. I told a story earlier today why Peyton is my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
But I put Drew in the same conversation, man.
Where in the conversation?
When you're preparing for these guys, you prepare the same way. Drew can do the same things to you that Peyton can do, except Drew's not sexy. Drew's not 6'5". Yeah. But I don't know what happened that season. Like, was that season? Like, I need to go back and do my homework, and I will. And just really break down some of the seasons.
Which 5?
Some of the seasons that Drew went over for the 5.
Which of the 5 you got to break down?
When he went over 5,000 yards. Like, what happened? Did AP go for 2,000? Did something else phenomenal happen that didn't give Drew Brees the MVP?
He was second 3 times.
We can't just say, he's in the conversation now. Just because he didn't win it doesn't mean he's not great.
See, I look at Peyton Manning, who essentially changed the league from the standpoint of here's a guy that will orchestrate an offense from the line of scrimmage, and he was kind of the guy that got credit. The narrative is he's got credit for doing those things. I mean, I've watched Peyton in practice in Denver. Oh, I know he did. Yeah. But I watched him in practice. John Fox once walked up to me. I'm watching practice. Mm-hmm. And John Fox says to me, we do blitz pickup every day because Peyton Manning demands that we do blitz pickup every day. We're the least blitz team in the league. Nobody blitzes us, right? And not one coach was talking. Peyton Manning ran the practice. And I'm like, but John, you're the head coach. Why don't you just say we're not going to do this anymore? I go, oh, are you kidding me? Peyton Manning wouldn't allow it. Well, this is what we do. So he changed that. But there's a lot of quarterbacks that have come along under that and said, okay, well, this is how we operate. Drew Brees is one of the top, 5, 6 quarterbacks that's ever played this game. Just because he doesn't have the MVPs, well, I understand when Brady's winning a world championship and Peyton Manning.
Get my Twitter off out.
Yeah,
y'all 5 or 6 greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, get that.
Have you 71,000 total yards? He's played without defense. The guy has played. He's 6 foot tall. And he has been able to put the numbers up that he has put the.
I get the little underdog story. I love it.
Okay,
I love the underdog
story. It's not even
story.
about being the little underdog now. These numbers put him in the category of these big top dogs.
Hold on. He just said top 5. I did hear 6, but you didn't really land on that. With a Brady out there, with a Montana, with a Peyton Manning, with a Marino, with an Elway.
Steve Young.
Like, what are we doing?
Turn around and look at that picture. Look, he's like Peyton's little brother. Look how.
So
it is very adorable.
Yards are longer when you're shorter.
They're grading on the curve, man. They're grading on the curve.
No, we're not grading on the curve.
What everybody says coming out in the draft, accuracy is the most important thing. He's the most accurate quarterback in history.
Okay.
Drew Brees is.
Okay, but let's talk about losing seasons then. And I hate doing this. When you're splitting hairs amongst greats, you start to compare and then it looks like you're taking shots. I'm not taking a shot, but 2 losing seasons for Peyton Manning, including his rookie year, 3 and 13. Drew has had 6. So when DeAngelo says, I want to look into every year, there are 6 losing seasons with You're saying a top 5 quarterback in NFL history?
Elway had 2.
That's tough to swallow when one guy has 2 and one was his first year in the NFL, and that was a horrible team while he was the number 1 overall pick in Peyton Manning.
I mean, see, we like to throw numbers out when it benefits us.
Yes.
Because
That's called speak for yourself.
No. Seriously though.
What?
Drew's teams aren't anywhere comparable to Peyton's teams. I'm talking teams. It takes a team to win a championship and to win football games. But Drew, I feel like, has single-handedly at times. It's been times when we went to play those guys, we didn't know who else was on the roster.
Right.
All right?
I get that.
And Drew was still the constant professional every single snap. You know what he's bringing to the table. And it's very similar to the same things Peyton does.
Yeah. Peyton's had more.
Peyton's just not sexy. Drew's just not sexy.
Yeah.
Drew's not on the commercials.
Right.
Drew's not known. He's not in a
He ain't
big market.
6'5",
Right.
and he ain't MVP.
And by the way, the accuracy thing, who throws it down the field more than Drew Brees?
Right.
In the league, the way it's currently constructed, and I would like to reel something back. 5 or 6 all time,
Yeah.
5 or 6
Thank
of
you.
that generation.
Thank
All right,
you.
5 or 6 of his generation
There you
is
go.
where I was trying to go with that.
Down game against the Broncos for 3 quarters, and then came back out in the fourth quarter and became a monster. I expect to see that monster against the Jaguars.
Yeah, let me plagiarize the great Trent Dilfer, one of my closest friends and minds when it comes to football. And he said,
Y'all got the same hairstyle. Go
shut that. There's no defending the perfect pass. And as a former defender, I don't care what position you're in, you can't defend the perfect pass, and more so than anybody we've seen of late. This guy throws perfect passes.
Well, you know what, though? He's not going to throw 35 perfect passes out of 48 attempts.
Good point.
Come Sunday. And I just think that this Jacksonville defense, they're built different. When you can just rush with 3 or even 4 at times and drop the rest of those guys in coverage, it's going to make for a long day for old Patty Mahomes here. Because I'm telling you, that defense will not.
You're a non-believer?
Will not blitz. No, I'm not a non-believer. I think Patrick Mahomes is an amazing talent. Okay. I want to see him do it for the full season.
Yeah.
But this is one of those matchups that's going to humble him a little bit, or not even humble him, because I feel as though he is humble in his approach. But I think we as the media, we tend to crown him. We're crowning him.
Yeah.
And so I just think this is going to bring him back down to reality. This defense isn't what he's going to face every week.
Right.
And so we'll see him go against the best. You talk about Tyreek Hill calling out Jalen Ramsey saying, yeah, I want to see this dude, because people saying I'm good. We all know he's good. Let's go. Let's match up. That's the kind of one-on-one matchups you're going to see. And I'm telling you, if that front can rush him with 3 and 4 guys and allow everyone else to play coverage, man, they linebackers can run. Like Pat Mahomes is not going to be running out this pocket and think Miles Jack and Tevin Smith can't
man.
go
Marcus
get him.
Mariota beat them. I mean, you act like this team is all world.
I'm
Like they're beatable. Marcus Mariota with one arm, with one hand, beat them.
They will be ready.
Okay, I'm listening.
And Doug Marone's trying to make sure.
Right. I'm 100% with you when it comes to this Jacksonville Jaguar defense. Not only from a back-end standpoint, their linebackers can run like none other. They will dominate the line of scrimmage. What was the thing you said earlier in the program? I was listening. I was over there kind of taking a little nap, and I heard it because it resonated with me. It was something about do and doo-doo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Your do
so
or
the
your
doo-doo is the Chiefs' defense. And let me just tell you, on the doo-doo aspect of that, is Doug Marrone understands complementary football, and he understands the value of playing smash mouth football and not letting Patrick Mahomes. I don't care how healthy Fournette is. That doesn't matter to me. They will physically dominate the line of scrimmage. Hey, how healthy? You look at Freeman had 8 carries in that Monday night game, averaged 9 yards a carry. Lindsey had, I don't know how many carries he had, but he averaged almost 6 yards a carry. The Broncos, they came out in the very end of that game, had an opportunity to salt it away. They came out in 11 personnel, and they threw a bubble screen, and they had to come in, line up with 2 tights, line up with a fullback and a running back. They're going to keep Mahomes on the sideline. And that defense, let me tell you, that defense is for real, and they're going to be fresh because of the complementary nature of the way they do it. I think Jacksonville upsets them.
Here's what blows up your whole deal. When they're down 10 in the second quarter, they're going to have to throw the football. And that's what Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, we already know what Andy Reid's first 15, 20 plays look like for 2 decades. He's going to put some points on the board. Last week was the first time they didn't score on their touchdown on their opening possession. They had to settle for a field goal. Andy Reid is going to figure out a way to put 2 scores on the board and make Jacksonville have to play catch-up.
Make Blake Bortles play catch-up without Leonard Fournette.
I think Blake Bortles can even beat this Kansas City defense, man, to be honest.